I've reviewed the evidence. I just want to point out both guys, you fall hard, okay? In the case of Sheriff versus Khalil White, you're found.
My boy conducting business while we conducting business.
Sometimes I just wanna roll up, relax and help me focus.
Okay, I'm gonna allow your witness to come up now.
All right, Mr. Lee.
Hey, can you swear him in, please? Go on, shout, please.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. You can have a seat, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Lee? Oh.
Hey.
Yes.
Can you go on PT?
Yes.
Shit, did I?
Thank
That
you.
doesn't even make any sense.
We can hear everything, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's get you up here. You got a testimony to give, don't you, big boy?
Harrington's got her. Don't you, big boy?
Hey, Mr. Lee, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Nice to see you in court. I'm happy that you came through today. Would you mind just kind of explaining a little bit about yourself to the judge and to the court?
Well, I'm a tow truck driver.
Oh,
tow trucks for PD and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lee. Can everybody hear Mr. Lee?
No.
Do you mind turning on? Yeah, do you mind turning
Please
on?
think about shouting.
Yeah.
My brother, he works for the police force as well, and he introduced me to him, and we just kind of went out to go fishing and stuff.
Okay.
And that was pretty much.
So you seem like the type of person who just surrounds himself with good people in general, good,
Yep.
outstanding citizens. Excellent. Okay. So can you tell me from your perspective a little bit of the night of the incident and what occurred?
Okay. Yeah. So we were going to the store, and I told him that I was hungry, and we were going to the gas station. So we went in there, and then a vehicle come up behind us with the lights on, and I asked him what was going on.
And what happened after that?
So when we got to the gas station, law enforcement flipped his lights on and told us to pull over. And we were like, what's going on? So the guy came out of the vehicle. He seemed like he had no markings on there and stating that it was a LEO, but he was all in green and had a PD vehicle. But from what I heard from in the past, that one of the sheriffs a while ago had a similar situation where the cadet, not this one, but another cadet was going around in the city shooting ARs.
Oh, no.
So I felt that I was feared for my life. That's why he was defending me, because I didn't have no gun in my hand at all.
Okay. And how'd you get this information? Through your brother or just your connections to the police in general? You just kind of heard it like word of mouth?
Just word of mouth.
Okay, that makes sense. You're well tied in. Makes perfect sense to me. Okay. Now, how long were you and Mr. White together on the day of the incident before, it
Excuse
occurred?
me one second. Hold on 1 second. Young fella in the back with the white t-shirt, please take off the hat.
So obviously Mr. White had, you were aware that Mr. White had been, had government issues related to his job at the time, and that's why he was no longer an active member of PD, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you were aware that Mr. White was planning on taking those weapons back to the police, back to the police until he got reinstated.
That's where he said he was going to, but I turned around and told him, I said, hey, I need to go to the gas station. I'm getting... Okay. And that's when they pulled us over, because we were on the way back to the station to put his stuff in the vehicle.
Okay, and to be clear, when you say all night, you mean all night for Mr. White, who had just flown in right before, correct?
Yeah.
You mean all night for Mr. White? Okay, correct. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And once again, you stated that you had heard that a sheriff had gone around shooting people just through your sheer connections within the police department?
Yeah, through my sheer connections, but this was not that night, but I've heard that what was going on. So for that, him not having any markings on him, didn't even state who he was, didn't even give him his badge number, and just told us to get out of the car. That kind of like weirded me out.
Startled you a little bit. I understand. I'm so sorry that happened to you. So can you explain to me a little bit about what happened after the shooting occurred, and from your perspective?
Okay, so after the shooting occurred, he had a gun at me and was like, hey, you want some too? And I was like, just startled and just sit there and didn't say anything. And I'm like,
objection, Your Honor. What
you
is the relevance?
Sustained. Rephrase the question.
After Mr. White had gotten shot and you were still watching over him, Did you see anything suspicious or weird out of the police? Anything like that? You were mentioning that what they were doing before, what he was doing before, sounded suspicious.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
It's completely irrelevant, Your Honor. I'm trying to. This is all
Overruled.
the incident. Yeah. Did you see, from your perspective? Did you see anything suspicious? Anything like that? Like what? Just tell me your story after the shooting.
Well, after the shooting, the officer just sat there and told me, "You want some too?" But he caught himself, which tells me he was going to shoot me anyway.
Okay. Do you think that maybe subconsciously that officer had the beef between LSPD and the sheriff's department in his head when he got aggressive like that?
Well, I did hear that there was a beef
Objection,
going
Your
on
Honor.
between
What is
sheriffs
the
and
relevance
PD.
of a beef? What beef are they talking about, Your Honor?
Well, I'm sorry.
Please refrain the question.
I'm sorry if the prosecutor's misinformed.
Don't let it happen again.
Okay. Mr. Lee, we're done here. I have no more questions for you.
So you're a tow truck driver, eh?
Yep.
Great. Good to know. All right. So you wrote a witness statement, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Perfect.
All right. So as this guy gets out of his vehicle, he seems to have no markings stating that he was from an LEO.
Okay. All right.
And
Time out. 1 second. So you know what markings LEOs have?
Yes, I do.
You
my
personally?
brother works for the law enforcement.
Okay. Which department is he working?
LSPD.
In this city?
Yes, this city.
Perfect. All right, continue.
Also, when he was coming out, he was stating he was can't talk right now. And anything on a PD vehicle, walking up to us with a gun in his hand, which I had fear for my life because I didn't know if he was a fake cop with a stolen PD vehicle or not.
Well, 1 second. So you immediately feared for your life because
yeah, of course, because he had
car,
to come out of course. Didn't you not hear what I said earlier?
Yeah, yes, sir. So the
okay.
Police
if
car
you heard if you heard what I said earlier,
sir,
you
can
would
I treat
already
this
know.
witness as a hostile witness, sir?
Objection, Your Honor. He's badgering though. He's badgering
down,
though.
please?
He's badgering.
How am I badgering the witness?
Please answer the question.
Perfect. So, do you know what an unmarked vehicle is, sir?
Yeah, no, nothing on the vehicle at all, and I never stated it was an unmarked vehicle.
Okay, I'm just trying to establish that a police vehicle pulled in behind you.
Yeah,
because you said that in a law enforcement vehicle flipped his lights on and told us to pull over. That's what you said in your opening statement, and then you just said that you didn't know that this officer or this person was an officer.
Yeah, because
it was an unmarked vehicle.
No, I didn't say unmarked vehicle. I said he had no markings on him.
Okay, he had no markings on him.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the vehicle was didn't know if the vehicle was stolen or not. Never stated who he was and why we were pulled over. All he said was get out of the vehicle, yelling at us, get out of the vehicle. As soon as the shots fired, I got nervous. I was going to feel like I was going to get shot by the unmarked LEO.
Okay, 1 second. All right, let's backtrack just a little bit. In your opinion, right, from this statement, this officer got out of the vehicle and said, get out, and he was yelling at you?
Yeah, he was telling us to get out of the vehicle.
Okay, and then you said he was yelling, and all you heard was shots going off.
Yeah, because I was looking the other way.
You were looking the other way?
Yeah, I was looking the other way when I heard the shots go off, because I was trying to see what's going on around me because I didn't even know what was going on at the point.
Okay, why didn't you put that in the report?
Inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
You're scared.
Objection, Your Honor.
It does mean a fear for my life because.
Objection, Your Honor. Look, if the prosecuting attorney here is going to argue that that Mr. McNulty can forget certain things because of his PTSD, then clearly my defendant here, or the witness here, can have a lapse in judgment when he feared for his life.
I hear your final statements, please.
Starting with me or starting with the
prosecutor? You could go first.
We learned today that you can literally take the law into your own hands if you feel threatened. You can just shoot at random at a gas station and possibly blow up a gas station because you feel threatened by a marked police car coming behind you. Or that's what Khalil thinks. I personally don't agree with that, especially if there's more officers arriving to the scene You can't literally be that focused that you only see 2 inches in front of your face and that you don't hear sirens coming because you're bad mouthing a police officer about 10 codes because he didn't get his 10 codes properly. We're talking about a cadet that's brand new to a city that he just got a home to, and he's trying to help out. He's trying to protect the city and help, right? He's not going to know everything. Just like if it's your first or second day on the job and you're under training, you're not going to know everything about your job. You're not going to know a whole new system, right? So yeah, did the cadet do some things wrong? Sure, he didn't have his uniform correctly. Yeah, sure, he didn't have it right, right? But he was still in a marked police car. Whether or not it got stolen or not, that's hearsay. You can't use that. It's hearsay. He was in a marked police car. He asked the gentleman politely to get out of the car. Mr. White then opened fire mid-conversation, just boom, 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 open fire.
I understand most of the people out here in the stands here don't know what the SOP is, but the SOP is your standard operating procedures, and the very first line for the police in this city is that cadets cannot ride by themselves. The very first line. So saying that he's uninformed, that is a lack of oversight, either on the heads of the department, that is just in general malicious disregard for the rules. He made the improper report that does not note the witness on it, by the way. Completely improper charges, as you could see. He did not identify himself as an officer. I'm sorry, that's the first line of the SOP. He needs to identify himself as an officer when he approaches the vehicle. And then furthermore, you saw the edited date, tampering with evidence. Now, knowing all these violations that occurred, that's before the traffic violations and the other litany of mistakes that he was making on his way to the scene. Mr. White here is an outstanding citizen within this community who knows the SOP front and back, front and center. So when he sees somebody violating these laws, what is he supposed to think? That this is an actual police? Of course he's not going to think that. When he sees somebody getting out recklessly like that with their gun drawn, just like any of you, if you had somebody walk up to you with their gun drawn and you weren't sure that they were police, you would be scared. Are civilians not supposed to be able to defend themselves? Like the prosecutor said. Are they not allowed to defend themselves when they feel like they are? Mr. White knows all of the police within the department. Front, back, and center. I have one question for you guys. Just so you guys as a whole. If you were at home, just chilling, relaxing, doing whatever, chilling on the porch, whatever you were doing at home, and your mother's car pulled up, and a stranger got out of it with a gun drawn, would you not fear for your life? That's all I got to say. Thank you, Your Honor.
I've reviewed the evidence. I just want to point out both guys, you fall hard, okay? But in the case of Sheriff versus Khalil White, PD versus Khalil White, you're found not guilty on all accounts.
Yes.
Okay?
Congratulations.
Sometimes I feel so damn alone.